By the time the sun leans toward the horizon, the air cools enough for the city to breathe again. You wander through narrow streets lined with mud brick walls, following the lazy flow of evening. The smell of roasting grain and wood smoke fills the air. Someone somewhere is singing a hymn to Hathor, goddess of love and music, though it sounds more like a lullaby for tired farmers. You pass a small courtyard where a family has gathered for dinner. A mother ladles lentil stew into clay bowls, while a father breaks flatbread with the ease of habit. Their children, barefoot, giggling, streaked with dust, sit cross-legged, waiting for permission to eat. You pause at the edge of the light, watching how naturally they move through time. No rush, no hurry. Everything unfolds at the same pace as the fading sunlight. But then something catches your attention, a small stone device resting on the ground beside the father. It's shaped like a shallow bowl with markings etched along the inside. You recognize it instantly, another clepsydra. Not fancy, not gilded, but homemade. He fills it with water from a jar, then glances at the lowest line as the surface rises. His wife follows the level with her eyes, and when it reaches the third mark, she nods. Good, she says softly. Enough time to eat before the stars appear. You realize they're timing dinner, not out of obsession, but ritual. Egyptians believed that each part of the day carried a different energy. To eat too late was to invite restlessness. To sleep before dark risked missing the protective prayers of twilight. So even ordinary people relied on small cues and tools to stay in sync with the natural rhythm. Historians still argue whether the average Egyptian household truly used such instruments, or if this was reserved for scribes and priests. But pottery fragments found near workers' villages at Deir el-Medina suggest that even laborers had their own rough timekeepers, small, functional, and personal. Maybe not as poetic as Mena's creation, but practical enough for daily life. You crouch down, watching the water trickle out through a tiny hole near the base. Each drop lands with a faint plink, a heartbeat you can almost feel in your chest. It's strangely comforting. The father glances up, catches your gaze, and smiles faintly, as if he knows you're another soul who respects the simple miracle of keeping time. Dinner continues quietly. The conversation drifts from the grain harvest to rumors of the next festival at Karnak. The children start a small argument about who will feed the family's pet cat, which, judging by its unimpressed stare, is already well fed. You chuckle softly, earning a few suspicious looks from the kids. Apparently, invisible guests are still considered rude. When the last of the bread is gone, the father checks his clepsydra again. The water's nearly drained. Time to thank the river, he says. The family stands, turns toward the faint glimmer of the Nile, and bows their heads in a simple gesture of gratitude. Then they start clearing bowls, laughter echoing into the dusk. You linger a moment longer, savoring the stillness. This is the other face of Egyptian time, the human one. Away from temples and pharaohs, it's less about control and more about connection. The rhythm of ordinary life, marked not by precision but by peace. Still, you can't shake the sense that something deeper is stirring beneath this calm surface. The desire to measure time, to make it predictable, dependable, keeps spreading, even into the homes of fishermen and bakers. And with that desire comes a subtle shift in how people understand their days. As you continue through the twilight streets, you pass a group of young men hauling jars of oil toward the temple. One jokes, "If we're late again, the priest will say we've angered Thoth himself." Another replies, "Let Thoth keep his hours. I just want supper." You smile. There it is again, the quiet tension between cosmic order and human appetite. By the time you reach the temple precinct, night has nearly fallen. Torches flicker along the colonnade, and the sandstone glows with a honeyed light. You hear chanting echoing through the courtyard, slow and deliberate, each verse measured by a drip of water from a great stone clepsydra near the altar. You step closer and see that this one is enormous, almost chest-high, shaped like a lotus blossom. Lines of hieroglyphs spiral down its sides, marking the hours of the night. A priest in white linen watches intently as water seeps through its narrow hole. He nods at intervals, directing the choir's rhythm with nothing more than a tilt of his head. This, you realize, is not just timekeeping. It's choreography. The entire ceremony unfolds in harmony with the clock's flow that a whisper of wind brushes past, carrying the scent of incense and oil. The stars begin to pierce the sky, sharp, precise, indifferent. Above you, constellations twist into shapes the Egyptians knew well. The falcon of Horus, the goddess Nut arching across the heavens, the boat of Ra sailing eternally. Every movement of light mirrors something sacred below. You feel it then, that deep Egyptian conviction that time isn't linear, it's circular. The same hours repeat endlessly, day into night, birth into death, water into sand. The clepsydra doesn't count time down. It lets it pass gently through, like the Nile through reeds. Your modern mind twitches a little. You're used to alarms that shout, reminders that buzz, clocks that chase you through the day. But here, time whispers. It doesn't demand attention. It invites it as the priests finish their chant. One dips his hand into the water basin, touches it to his forehead, and murmurs a prayer. May the flow be steady. May no hour be lost. That line lingers with you long after the sound fades. May no hour be lost. It's both a blessing and a warning. You start to walk back toward the river, your footsteps soft on the cool stone. The moon reflects on the water, broken into 1,000 trembling shards. Somewhere in the distance, a crocodile grunts, reminding you that serenity always has teeth in Egypt. You smirk. Even the night here comes with personality to be why the time you reach the riverbank, the city is asleep. The only sounds are the drip of the temple clock and the whisper of water against the shore. Two steady, synchronized rhythms. You sit down, close your eyes, and for a moment, the past feels perfectly still. The water trickles and trickles and trickles, like a whisper through the centuries, reminding you that even in ancient Egypt, nobody truly escaped the sound of the alarm. It was just softer, slower, and somehow kinder.